Hello everyone, it's Stone here with a review for WWE Smackdown vs Raw 2011. I have it on the PS3. I realise that the game did come out a few months ago now, but I promised you a review and it's long overdue, so that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, I've got all my notes written on an iPod here because there's quite a few things to cover. So anyway, let's get down to it. First thing, I've watched a few reviews on YouTube already and people are really impressed with it, saying it's... One person even went as far to say it could be a candidate for Game of the Year, but three things I say to that is, people are easily impressed, they're playing a completely different game to me, or I'm just too negative, because honestly, I don't think it's all that. After all the hype of freedom and creativity that we got in the lead up to this game, I was really not impressed, I don't know, that you can't even make your very own title matches like you could in previous games. Like for example, in exhibition mode you can't get, for example, let's say you got the Intercontinental Champion, you can't put them in a match against anyone of your choosing and just have a title match like that. You have to instead do it in the WWE Universe mode and have the challenger you want rise up through the rankings. And even then, if for example you got someone who's placed number 2 in the ranking list and your person's number 3, sometimes I've found if you put 2 and 3 together in a match, your person doesn't even rise above that other person who's above them. So in the end it's kind of lame really, or so I've found. Speaking about the universe mode, there was so much hype behind it and people are saying it's really good in that, but I don't really like it at all really. It's too random. The matches that the computer generates for you are too random, and even the cutscenes that you get, for example, once I had a created wrestler fighting and one of his rivals is Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon came out onto the stage in one of the matches and just stood there, and I thought, okay, let's see where this goes. Next week he has a ticket to sit in the front row. Okay, fair enough, but nothing happened from there, and then after that nothing happened at all. I was like, what was the point of those two things? I thought maybe they would generate a storyline or a matchup or something, but it didn't even do that. So anyway, yeah, WWE Universe mode, not impressed with that at all really. It's too random. Road to WrestleMania, I was quite pleased to read that it had backstage Roman again. I thought, yeah, this could be pretty good, like we had in WWE Smackdown, what was it, Shut Your Mouth I think, the 4th one. Yeah, you could just free roam that was pretty cool. But with this one it's just so boring, because you just have your person running around, you get other wrestlers roaming around backstage. If you go to talk to them, a lot of the time they just tell you to get away from them, and it just starts a backstage brawl, which is pretty boring. Other than that, you do have some people talk to you, and that some of the dialogue's pretty funny, especially Santino Marella. Can't stress that enough, it's really funny. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty boring, and I just found myself wanting to get straight to the match really, and get on with it. But speaking of Road to WrestleMania's Christian's story, I haven't played all of them, but Christian's story was really good because it really takes someone who's been a fan of WWE for a long time, it takes them back to the old days, and that's really good. There's some good storylines there, it's pretty funny as well. And going back on the old days, I like that you've got some people like, for example, you've got Rob Van Dam in the game, which is really good. You got an alternate attire for The Undertaker, Ministry of Darkness. You got very funny alternate attires for Edge and Christian. I won't spoil that in case you haven't played that yet or whatever. That's really good. And you got Stone Cold and The Rock there. However, with Stone Cold, he does not have his typical waist jacket when he comes out, and I was kind of down about that because I wanted. It just makes it more realistic really, and it's just a small feature that could have been added in when he comes out to the ring. And also, Stone Cold doesn't have his own champion entrance. For example, like, you got The Rock, he holds the belt, which he pretty much always done. And Stone Cold, he wears the belt, but I can't, being Stone Cold Steve Austin, I can't ever remember him wearing the belt. And I thought, you know, come on, how many games have we had where he hasn't carried the belt? That's what he always did, pretty much. So, that's another thing. I would like to have made a good story, like, from the old days, like Stone Cold and Undertaker or something like that, but without the small features like that. Maybe I'm being very picky, but without the small features, it just doesn't feel the same really. It feels like it could be better if it had those. What else have we got? Yeah, for me, the story creator is what shines about the game. With that, you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want, and that's good stuff. Other than that, the WWE Universe mode is pretty rubbish in my opinion. That's my opinion. Yeah, the storyline creator, you can pretty much do what you want, make whatever storylines you want. You got new cutscenes, you got a new branching mode which allows you to, for example, it gives the player a choice. For example, like, should you go that path or that path? That's pretty good. I haven't used any in any of the stories I created yet because I'm not too sure on how to use it, to be honest. But it's pretty good. I've used it in other storylines I've downloaded, and it gives the player more choice, which is pretty good. Other than that, the physics of the match are really good because, like, for example, if you suplex someone onto a table, if you just hit the edge of the table, that table leg just snaps down and the table doesn't break. Or, for example, like, if you like just suplex someone and they're near a table, instead of just moving the table aside and then hitting the mat, they actually go through the table, which is pretty good. And also, like, if you fall off a ladder and they're pretty close to the ropes, their arm hooks over the rope, and that's pretty good because you see that in real storylines, and you can like lean ladders and tables up pretty much wherever you want almost, and that's pretty good. So the physics is a really good improvement for this game because it's never been like that in any of the other games as far as I'm aware. But oh yeah, other than that, you can, unlike the last game, when you download created wrestlers now, you can assign your own music track to their entrance, which I don't think you could do in the last one unless I just completely missed that. So that's pretty good because I downloaded a really good Kurt Angle core, and I could give Kurt Angle his old WWF theme, whatever, and that's pretty good. Other than that, I think I pretty much covered most of my points. Sorry if it was a bit fast, but yeah, to round it up, WWE Universe mode, not keen on it at all. If it's going to be in the next one, I hope there is an improvement, like there's more continuity with storylines and that, because it's just completely random, for my liking anyway. Would be good to see more cutscenes added for the story designer, which I'm sure they'll probably do. And also another thing I just remembered, I think any downloaded wrestlers, for example, you've got Chris Masters and coming up Wade Barrett, David Otunga, Justin Gabriel, all them, I don't think you can upload storylines if they're used in it. If that's true, then that pretty much sucks, because I really wanted to do a good storyline with Wade Barrett and like Drew McIntyre or something, like the Empire that they had in FCW, the development thing for WWE. But if you can't do that, then that sucks. So that should be an improvement in the next one, because I purchased fan access before the game came out, because I was quite excited, because this game was hyped up quite a bit with all the universe mode and everything. So I was quite excited. I bought that, but if you can't even use downloaded people in storylines to upload, then that's a major downfall in my opinion. So yeah, WWE Universe mode is too random. Road to WrestleMania roaming gets boring, really boring, and the story designer is where it's at with this game in my opinion. If I have to give it a rating, I would only give it maybe about 7 out of 10. Story designer is good. I played it a fair few hours the other day, so yeah, for me that's where the game's at. Anyway, I hope, even though this is late, I promised you a review, so there you go. I hope it's somewhat informative, even though it is late. And if anyone did watch this, thanks very much, and you'll probably get another video soon, I hope. Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace.